Not every NASCAR driver on today's grid has had a squeaky clean rise to the Cup Series. These drivers are not afraid to destroy someone else's race car and risk suspension. They do not care if they have to jump out of their vehicle and kick another driver's ass. They're also not scared to say the most outlandish and straight up rude things off the racetrack to protect themselves. Some examples are Joey Logano, Kyle Busch, Denny Hamlin, and others. This is part 1 of a multi-part series called Bad Boys, where we explore the careers of these drivers and how they evolved into this or have changed their demeanor over time to avoid these types of actions. Today's episode features Kurt Busch, who has had a controversial career. Early in his career, he was one of NASCAR's bad boys, but a fall from grace forced him to clean up his act. Until these events, nice guys finish last would be an excellent way to put it. Let's get into it.
Turning Clint Boyer into the wall, collecting Jody.
And Kyle Busch is going to turn over and bring the wall. Our championship contender Hornet in the wall.
What do you think I was mad about? Dumb little runs us clear down to the infield. He wants to about everybody else, and he's the one that drives like a little.
Kurt Busch was brought up to the Cup Series in 2000 to replace Chad Little in the number 97 Ford Taurus for Roush Fenway Racing. In 2001, Kurt Busch was famously given the honorary title of the last driver ever to be called number 1 by the Big E in the Daytona 500 at nearly 200 miles per hour. After that, Kurt's road to greatness in the Cup Series would be anything but easy. He would get into multiple on-track feuds with Jimmy Spencer and quickly painted himself as one of NASCAR's bad boys.
But Busch came right back with a Spencer-like move of his own.
Whoa, he hit him. Busch got under him and muscled Jimmy Spencer. You don't see that often.
A new Winston Cup rivalry was born, and revenge was all but promised.
Got railroaded out of the lead, just got smashed 2 in the back bumper. I mean, it's evident on tape. I'm sure they got it. Shouldn't race that way, but he won it. I just don't forget, that's all.
There between the two cars. Get to turn 3.
He just booted him out of the way. Wow, that's not good. No. I mean, here you got a guy coming, okay, he passed him clean, and you can see the car was slowing up in front of you. I don't think Kurt's going to let that one go over too easy. And great news there.
Oh, he's mad at somebody.
Yes, he is.
He's angry at somebody.
Think he's got his weapon? Oh, no, it's his hat.
He's going down and just tell somebody when they go by that he's angry.
All right, survey says easy racing with there. We're here and it's a red car. Jimmy Spencer? Yeah.
What do you think happened out there?
Oh, just been having troubles with turn 3 this weekend. In qualifying we spun and that put us in a bad position back there with the decrepit old has-beens, I guess. It's just been a tough way. I mean, when he calls out what he's going to do and then actually goes out there and does it, I mean, I guess he's a never was is really the term that we need to bring up today. But real unfortunate, we had the car to beat. We were going to the front, Rubbermaid, very sorry about it. We'll go back and work at it next week. I mean, it's tough when you bump somebody at 100 miles an hour and then when they come back and bump at 200 miles an hour. So if that's the way that Jimmy Spencer is, we know how he is, and we're not going to play like that.
Jimmy's and Kurt's feuds would make Kurt the poster child for hotheads in the Cup Series. The two would go off and on for years on end, and to a degree, it has never really ended. 2002 and 2003 would be 2 outstanding seasons for Kurt. He would not fail to get it done on race day. Wins, top 5s, and top 10s were commonplace. That 97 car was on rails, man. 4 years after his Cup Series debut, he would get his first championship in 2004 despite nearly having the whole season vanish before him in a loose wheel incident. Despite all of the success on the racetrack, the success did come at a cost. Neglect for the hard work of the people back at the factory by getting into senseless, anger-fueled tirades on the radio and channeling his anger into wrecking other drivers put Roush on the spot. At this point, Kurt was on the hot seat. If you don't know what I mean by this, there is a 1-hour video compilation of Kurt's antics on YouTube up until 2012. If that doesn't convince you that he didn't have anger issues, I don't know what else to say. 2005 was an excellent season for Kurt. After winning it all, most drivers usually have a slump, but Kurt weathered the storm pretty well. But that storm would get to him and hit him, and it would hit him hard. On November 11th, 2005, Kurt was pulled over by a sheriff's deputy in Phoenix for that weekend's race. Kurt was speeding. What a coincidence, huh? A race car driver is speeding. But things get weird. He was given a breathalyzer test but blew a 0.017, far below the 0.8 legal limit in Arizona. According to the sheriff's office, it gets hairy. The breathalyzer test malfunctioned. Kurt passed other sobriety tests but was taken downtown on suspicion of drunk driving, but was given a criminal citation for reckless driving and absolved from his crimes on November 16th. If you are just as confused as me, do not worry. Jack Roush and other executives at the team were too, and had enough of trying to bail out Kurt on his antics. Out of concern, they suspended Kurt for the remainder of the season. He was replaced by Kenny Wallace for the last 2 races of the season. His run-in with the 5-0 was not over yet, as a judge ordered him to complete 50 hours of community service. Not a good look. While this is going on, Kurt is begging Mr. Roush out of his contract. Mr. Roush did not want to hear this, but Kurt's DUI and his signing with Penske for 2006 behind Roush's back was the straw that broke the camel's back. And so, Kurt would be slated to replace NASCAR legend Rusty Wallace in the Blue Deuce. Analysts all over the NASCAR world expected Kurt to make a significant rebound this season, but this was not the case. Kurt took a massive performance dip in 06. He would only win once that season at Bristol and have an average finish of 20th place. This was due to Kurt once again getting involved in self-inflicted accidents and just pure bad luck. But something was seriously wrong with Kurt. Why does he have this bad luck? Is it karma? Well, no. Once again, Kurt was being a hothead, and it caught up with him as he would nearly have 5 straight seasons of disappointing results. He would frequently flame Mr. Penske on team radio, and once again went on anger-fueled tirades during the race. At the time, this was pretty shocking, but if you watch the videos now, it's an excellent laugh.
Fucking turn every fucking week. Ruin with the fucking tires. Fuck these tires. We don't know how many fucking put on either. 4, 2, none. It don't fucking matter. We're pretty much fucked because we ain't got a fucking goddamn team. We're a bunch of fucking idiots crawling around with no fucking idea what we're supposed to do. Trying to fucking tell somebody back in August, but yeah, Kurt's just got an attitude. Fuck! I love to hit the fence head on and get knocked out. This is fucking bullshit.
By 2011, Kurt had pretty much made his entire team of the Blue Deuce hate him, and for a good reason. He would wage total war against anybody that dared to wrong him. Reporters, analysts, you name it. Nobody was safe. And so Roger Penske moved Kurt over to the 22 car for 2011 in an easy change of scenery, but Kurt's war against innocent became protracted.
Why can't we tape this shit? Yeah, I'd like to do it live too, fucking 10 minutes ago.
Hey, never mind. Yeah.
Thank you.
Transmission holds about 2 quarts of fluid, so that smoke you see could be fluid on the track. We don't see a caution though.
Once again, just like with Jack Roush, Kurt was let go for the team due to poor performance and a bad attitude. However, nobody wanted Kurt, and you could see why. Unfortunately, Phoenix Racing decided to bring Kurt on board for the 2012 season. And if you thought the war stopped there, think again.
Typically gets every week. I hate my job. What the does he want? When you ran out of the pit, you almost ran some of them over there all wanting to whoop your. You got to start at the back with it too soon. Is there one to go yet? They want you to drop part of the back. I am there! I'm there! Holy behind me! I'm down! Oh man, cool down. Let's then get some points here.
Kurt Busch had been on probation by NASCAR for actions detrimental to stock car racing. It was promptly extended once again when Kurt had a run-in with Justin Allgaier at Dover and cussed out Bob Pockrass in a post-race interview.
So it's good, and it was great to have Kyle in the pit box checking everything out today.
Kurt Busch, did it impact you how you raced, Justin? The fact that you're on probation after that, he said he was racing you.
It refrains me from not beating the out of you right now because you asked me stupid questions.
At this point, that was a major wake-up call for Kurt, and he needed to clean up his anger issues. Kurt was then tapped to drive the 78 car for a rising Furniture Row racing team in 2013. Kurt's 2013 season would see a massive improvement. Despite a few bumps in the road, including a nasty flip at Talladega, he finished the season with 0 wins, but with 11 top 5s and 16 top 10s. Now that is really good. After this one good season, Kurt would be tapped to drive the 41 car for Stewart-Haas Racing. In 2014, he would be famously flipped off by an angry Brad Keselowski for a whole lap at Martinsville. In 2017, he would get a blockbuster win in the Daytona 500. This would easily be one of the best rides of his career, as he stayed with the team until 2019. He would not finish a single season during this era with an average finish outside 20th. He, along with veteran Kevin Harvick, brought SHR to new heights. In late 2018, Kurt needed another fresh start. At this point, what did he have left to prove? He had already won a Cup Series championship, he declined, and he made his way back up to the top of NASCAR. And so, Kurt signed a one-year deal to drive the one car with Chip Ganassi Racing for 2019, where he would replace an aging Jamie McMurray. Once again, Kurt reinvigorated this team. He would win at least once every year until 2021, when the assets of CGR were sold off to Justin Marks to form the new Trackhouse team. This left Kurt as a free agent, where he would sign to drive the number 45 Toyota Camry for 2311 Racing in 2022. So far, Kurt's season has been spectacular. Multiple top 5s and top 10s and an absolute barn burner win at Kansas this past weekend have cemented Kurt as a lock for the Hall of Fame. We are not anywhere near the end of the 2022 season, but it would certainly be fair to say if that 2311 can give Kurt a car as they did at Kansas, I would not rule him out for his second championship. If that happens, his retirement is inevitable. If not, I see him sticking around a little bit longer to mentor his teammate Bubba Wallace. The last question that remains, has Kurt cleaned up his act? Of course he has. Kurt is no longer one of NASCAR's bad boys and is overwhelmingly favored amongst the fans. It is better to be feared than loved in NASCAR, but sometimes being the nice guy can have its perks. Hey guys, this is the first episode of my new Bad Boys series, where I discuss the careers of NASCAR's dirtiest drivers and how they evolved to be this way or have changed their demeanor to no longer be one of them. I consider a driver to be a bad boy if they are astoundingly unpopular amongst the fans for their driving or the way they acted at any part of their Cup Series career. It is pretty evident that not many people liked Kurt early on in his career, but he has truly evolved into one of the most beloved drivers in the garage compared to his brother Kyle. And now I want to pass this on to you. Who do you think is one of the most hated Cup Series drivers right now? Why do you think they're hated so much? Like always, make sure to like, subscribe, and leave suggestions for future videos in the comments. This has been the Wheelspin Report. Catch you next time.